Hi. I'm live. Just one more. Great. Welcome to Think Beyond the Keys. I am happy to be with you this week. My name is Melvina Fredson-Cole, and I am live bringing you the Think Beyond the Keys series. Last week, we had a series of the sellers. We're focusing on sellers the next few weeks, and we had part one. Now, this is part two that I'm coming live with you. And today, I'm just going to jump right into it. Today, I'm going to speak to sellers out there about two disclosures that may help you avoid litigation. So what do I mean by that? Well, you know that when we're buying and selling, maybe the buyer may be unhappy with things, especially a home. You know, the buyer may come back and say, hey, you didn't tell me that, or we had a leaky faucet, or you didn't tell me this, or I'm going to sue you because I saw a crack in the foundation and now it's going to cost me 50,000. And you're going to be taken to court and you are liable because the court would say you did not disclose it, right? So here are two disclosures you will find. There are other disclosures, but here I'm just going to focus on these two. And it is important for you to take your time and go through it and complete it as quickly as possible. So let me just go through them. The first one is the transfer disclosure statement. And you will find it amongst your realtor will give it to you. But basically, what is that what is the transfer disclosure statement? It is a statement that says, hey, these are the things that are in my home. If you look at the section A, I have a refrigerator. Yes, I have this. Yes, I have that. And you tick it. And it also tells you, like, you disclose different other things in your home. I like to look at it as an abbreviated version of the second disclosure, the seller's disclosure, the seller property questionnaire. It's called SPQ for short. So you'll be hearing the SPQ, the SPQ, the SPQ. So these two disclosures are required. Buyers know that they are required. Why? Because when they're writing the offer, they normally write the offer under the purchase agreement. The residential purchase agreement, and that's what they send to you. Now, in that agreement, it states that the seller should provide that, and in a timely manner. The time is put in that in the agreement when it's sent to you. The offer, that's the offer letter, the offer contract that is sent to you. So they already know they need to get that, and you need to disclose things honestly. So in the seller property questionnaire, there are 13 sections, and it's labeled A to M. And under there, it is so cool because you will not say, it helps you. There's so much information and they're asking you to disclose. And you cannot say, oh, I did not remember, because there are some things, obviously, you cannot remember, right? You may forget, like, oh yeah, I forgot that I had this problem, and this and that. So they made it easy for you in these two disclosures. What you need to do is take it with you and go through it, put on your iPad or your phone or whatever's convenient for you. If you have, just put it on a pad and just walk through your home. And you make sure that all of them are disclosed as honestly as possible. Okay. Now, before I go through a few of the things that are in there, what I want to say is, if you want a smooth and fast transaction, these things are so, even if you're selling your home as is, because some sellers say, oh no, I just want to sell my home as is, and it's not necessary me because whatever is broken, I'm not going to fix. I already told them, but you have to. And why is that? That is for both of your benefit. One, for the buyers, it helps them know upfront, even before they decide to buy, and then talk to you about the timeliness of filling these forms out before putting it, or the first 2 or 3 days before you even put it up on the market. I'm sorry, have a cough. It is important for you to fill it out. oops, where did that come from? And this is why. It eliminates buyers that are not interested. You don't want people to come and say, yes, I'm interested in your home. And then they find out there's certain things and then no, and then it just drags on. And number two, it also helps you to make sure that you're not going to be sued later on down the line. Okay. When you put your home on the market, there are people that are going to be interested in it. Now, when you have all the disclosures and you also have done inspections, whether or not in your county it is necessary or not, it is advisable to have all of that laid open. The termite report, roof report, you have that. And it's all in a package that can be sent out to the buyer agents that have buyers that are interested in your property. It makes that only those that really want it, after seeing everything that's disclosed, it helps. It eliminates all those that would not be may not be interested in your property, and it helps for a faster close. You don't want to come and then the buyer decides to do an inspection, and that means that okay, the buyer's going to write in there, it's like, oops, there's no inspection and this and that. So I am just going to say that I am going to offer this amount of money and close within this time, contingent upon, you see, that's the word, contingent upon my inspections. Even though you have yours, they can still do their own. But if your inspection is thorough, it already has all everything that's out there that they already know is wrong with the home. Does that make sense? Cool. So you do need these ones. Now, this is for California. In other states, the SPQ, which is the seller property questionnaire, may be named differently. So this is just for California. So you may want to ask your realtor, wherever state you are in, to find out what is required for you to disclose and which form that you need to fill out. Okay. So cool thing is that in the seller property questionnaire, sorry, I have like a lot of forms here. You even have to write down, like, are there any nuisances? Do you have any maybe insurance claims? Everything is like practically listed that you have to go through, up to the disaster relief and all that kind of stuff. The water related damage. I look at it like, both of these really do fill out everything. No noise, neighborhood noise, like do you have a neighbor that's noisy? And one thing that you will find in the transfer disclosure statement is that both agents, the buyer's agent and yes, your agent, have to fill out their own disclosure. And it's called an AVID, and it's an agent visual inspection disclosure. So as I'm representing the seller, I have to take my disclosure and go through the questions and notice anything that I see visibly wrong with the property. Well, not wrong, but anything noticeable about the condition of the property that I have to list. Agents do not actually go under crawl spaces and turn on cookers, make sure they're working and do all that kind of stuff. And that's why it's called visual. We just go around each room, and note what we see, where they're dents in the wall, where they're, the tiles lifting up in the bathroom and those kind of things. So there's a lot of disclosures going on, right? So it is really hard to miss a lot of things when you have all these disclosures and all these parties going around and looking at the property. But it helps. You are honest. Be honest with your property. People understand that old properties where other people have been living, most likely it's not perfect. It's not a new build. So they do expect coming in there might be some things that they may need to work on or fix. Just be honest and make sure everything is filled out in a timely manner so that your home, the process of your home, will go smoothly. So just to recap, 2 important disclosures. These are they're called here in California. It may be called different in your state, and that is the transfer disclosure statement and the seller property questionnaire, the SPQ. Make sure those are filled out quickly as possible and thoroughly as possible, so that you can have a smooth claim. So this is Melvina Fredson-Cole with Think Beyond the Keys, and this is part 2 of the seller series. So I hope you learned something. If you have any questions or you want anything that you want covered in the Think Beyond the Keys, so just send me, DM me, let me know, like, hey, Malvina, I want a little bit more information about this, about that, so I can bring that to you. And it can be valuable to you, not only what I think you will need to know, but what you want to know. And I'm excited next week because, you know, we live now in the internet age. I mean, everything like we have virtual inspections, you have virtual showings. When you go to look at a property, you click on it, right? And then there's virtual showings. You go in the rooms, you have aerial views, you have all that kind of stuff. You have cool high definition photographs, all clean. I have one part of my production team actually that does all that, that will be here to chat about dressing up your home and presenting your home. Because remember, I told last week that, you know, you have to present your home in a new light. You have to show your home and how that is done. And I am so excited to have a guest come in next week. So I hope you tune. I hope you learned something. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week. This is Melvina Cole signing off.